Welcome in Game 1, Deathmatch Nations Cup Silver League semifinal. India versus Great Britain. See, we are starting out on what I think is my favorite map in the tournament. And thank you, Legend, for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, thank you. You even hit Happy the Andy in there. I see that. And Peon. So we're seeing some big names drop down in there. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that so much. Can't get distracted though, because we're gonna have Docs denied real quick here. Where this is Happy the Andy playing as the Byzantines, trying to get Docs up early in the south, taken out by Super Men at Arms Rusher. Okay, we're gonna say SMR, Super Men at Arms Rusher, Ass Kicker. One of these players with a million different names. Over on the other side, one doc has gone up, but only one doc. Legion with the Koreans is also trying to come down here and dock, but is denied off a couple of them briefly. Elsewhere in the pockets, we've got Breakfast playing as the Bengalis for Great Britain. Opposite Agent playing as the Magyars. Magyars here, interesting. And then up north in the hills, we have Pete playing as the Teutons for Great Britain, and it is, I guess we'll just stick with Super Men at Arms Rusher, since that is what he is called in the game, playing as the Saracens. So no elephants for Team India, which is usually the go-to. On this map anyway, that has been the meta. Instead, we have Cav Archer Pocket. Saracens are good up top. Cav Archer opening is interesting, though. And we're going to have the Byzantines against the Koreans down in the south. Now, Koreans do have the most broken unit in the game right now, by far. It's not Tiger Cav. It's not Fire Lancers. It is these glorious, glorious beasts right here, the turtle ships. Absolutely OP on water currently. But theoretically, I think fire ships are supposed to be the counter. It seems like they never actually counter them, but maybe Byzantines can, if any can. So big fight in the south. Up north, usually it's big siege balls, which are definitely doable with the Teutons and the Saracens. Camels and Cav Archers so far for the Saracens, though. We do have Mamluks filtering in. Bengalis do have the elephants. I mean, Magyars don't have the best answer to elephants either, right? Occasionally you see Tatars on this map, which don't have elephants, but they do have the anti-elephant capabilities with the flaming camels. I'm struggling to see. I mean, Koreans and Saracens can both deal with elephants, so maybe we'll just win water real fast here and then get back on land is the idea here for India. I don't know. Certainly, the winning the water quickly part is indeed happening. Koreans kind of bonkers on water in Deathmatch, and in RM as well, but Doc's going down. I can't imagine Happy the Andy is going to be able to get back on water. In the north, castle has still been denied. This castle has been trying to go up since the very beginning of the game for Pete, but Superman at Arms Rusher has been doing a great job. SMR doing a great job of denying it, and now Agent is going to swoop in with the Magyar Hussar. Oh! No, he denies it again. We're at 94% now. Breakfast is going to try and get a castle up behind this. Albs can't deal with the Magyar Hussar, though, but Bengalis are on the warpath. We're going to need rocket carts and fire lancers from Legion, I do believe, or maybe just rocket carts, but I think fire lancer is not a bad unit to make for everything I'm seeing here. Magyar Cav Archer is very, very strong, but I mean, I guess it's fine against the Byzantine camels. Big, big push, though. Castles being built behind, and I probably don't need this all on the screen. for this particular set. Castle's coming up in defense with the Magyars, but that might not go up either. The elephants are going to trundle in and deny that one. Treasure train success. That maybe is that the first time ever that's happened? Maybe. Thank you again, Legend. I appreciate that so much. I can finally calm down a little bit. First time follows and then immediately drops the gift subs too. We like those. We like those. Big push in the north from India while they are being pushed in the south. Breakfast is going to have to swing some elephants up here. I don't know if it's going to work against all these Saracen siege onagers. But the Teutons were definitely not getting it done. In the south? I mean... We've got Byzantine skirmishers now from Happy, the Andy. Which technically counters everything we're seeing here on the screen right now, I guess. Castle goes up for Agent, right on top of Trebuchets from Breakfast, so he's going to have to back up a little bit here. Draw lines in the sand a little bit further back. Can Pete hold against SMR? In the north is the question mark I have. It's not looking great, gotta be honest. I feel like, okay, there's a big storm happening outside, by the way. I feel like this always happens when I cast Deathmatch Nations Cup in particular. So hopefully I don't lose power at any point, but we shall see. We've got KP Boys trying to come in here. Not great against the Cav Archers, to be honest. Ooh, nice shot with the SO, though. Another forward castle. This push from SMR is looking really tough to deal with. How are we pushing in the south? We are pushing. Castle goes down. Elephant archers from the Bengalis really strong against most things we see here. And you know, the skirmishers are doing alright as well. Water is fully under the control of India, so no trade can go up in the far corner. Instead, we're having to run it here. So it's not the perfect trade line. And also, I mean, the top trade line's going to go down pretty soon here. And... yeah, there's just not enough here, right? 13 elephant archers on the field is all for Breakfast. He's got no food. Nobody's got any food on Team Great Britain. It's a famine, which is really not ideal for... I guess the Teutons can kind of get away with it, but realistically, all these civs need food. And yeah, the push is being routed in the south. The push is seemingly unstoppable in the north. I think Team India looking pretty good at a fairly quick 1-0 to start off this semifinal series. I won't call it yet, but I mean, they've got water and the north, which are usually the two win conditions. And they're going to have the middle as well. Yeah, we finally found Team Ireland with the famine. That's an Otter joke, not mine, by the way. Don't cancel me. GG is called. India takes game 1. It was looking a little sus in the middle. I thought maybe the Bengalis could just steamroll in here, but I think Andy needed to hold a little bit longer on water for that to be possible, and against the Koreans, it's just not viable. All right, and no spectate. I have seen this map once or twice, but I haven't cast it, I don't believe. Welcome in, Game 2. Great Britain Sea versus India. Okay, we're seeing some attempted snipes in Pete's base immediately, but he's doing a pretty good job defending so far. Let's introduce our teams. Up top for Great Britain Sea, we've got Pete playing as the Malay. He is across from Agent P playing as the Bulgarians. Pockets are Wildebeest with the Chinese, very strong civ on this map. And Legion with the Berbers, okay. And opposite flanks are SMR as the Goths, and Happy the Andy as the Romans. Oof. Okay. Maybe the worst possible matchup for the Goths that you can imagine. But it's not just about that matchup. Nice snipe there in Wildebeest's base. The Chinese, I think, are by far the best pocket on this map in the game. It's a little bit of a spicy opener here for Wildebeest. Another villager goes down. It's a lot of idle time in here. Now we've got the Berber camels diving into Chinese Cavalier, which is not great either. But as long as the villagers stay up, should be okay. Meanwhile, Bulgarian two-handed swordsman rush and Cavalier as well. We've got multiple Cavalier in this game, but they're diving into the Malay elephants. I don't think either of those things for the Bulgarians should do that well. I know the Malay elephants are cheap, but still. Villagers are going down, though. The elephants are slow, as are the Halb, so it's a little bit tough to run down all of the Cav diving on your villagers. Bill count really low for Pete right now. Only 5 villagers still standing. Docks are going up, but guess what? Camels counter Navy. We know this. Doesn't matter if it's a Lu Xuan, doesn't matter if it's a dragon ship. Camels are indeed the ship of the land, and they get it done on the water too. So Chinese should be OP because of the Lu Xuans. We're actually going demo here, which is not bad, I don't think, against the camels. This is where we could gain some good ground, though. It's legionaries into the Goth infantry. It should be so bad for the Goths. SMR is going to have such a bad kill-death ratio. It's going to be so bad. He's going Goth Cav Archers. It's not ideal. Pete with the Malay also pushing in hard on Agent P with the Bulgarians. We need the siege out for sure. Getting some SO on the field, but the elephants are kind of in the SO. I think this is okay. We've got Bulgarian elite cannon, or sorry, Malay elite cannon galleons, obviously. Doing damage from the water. Berbers have swung down to try and help against the Romans. Berber camels shouldn't do very well against the Roman infantry either, though, right? Maybe, is there no answer to the Romans? Maybe. Wildebeest starting to mass up some navy. It'd be great if we paid attention and didn't lose Lu Xuans to Carax. Kill this guy! He's ruining everything. This one Karak, we're trying to... Okay, we snipe a castle foundation, but the camels arrive. That's a lot of Lu Xuans going down. We're sort of holding at the top. I think Cav Archers are... Cav Archer, like, hand cannon is probably as good as it gets for the Roman, or for the Goths against the Romans, but... Okay, we're kind of turning the tide a little bit here. Still, gold is okay for Happy the Andy. Gold is actually out for our Chinese player, and there's no navy on the field. That's really not good. Ideally, you'd want the Chinese to have won water pretty much right now. There's all this gold in the middle of the map. It usually doesn't really matter, but having just castles up in the middle means you have so much map control, right? Okay, Pete is pushing, though. Malay in the north. Still getting it done against the Bulgarians. Trebs are moving out over the water. This is going to be an issue if water is lost, though. If the Chinese are totally off of water, suddenly the Berbers can swing up here and 2v1 the Malay. Cavalier trying to dive on the Trebs. They don't quite make it. But... maybe the SO will. They dive forward. They get one Treb. They get one Treb. They're still alive. They get two. They get all the Trebs. Every single one goes down. That's massive. Really good snipes there by Agent. Still a bit of a push in the south, though. And, well, okay. I guess I'm eating my words a little bit. It hasn't been a full 1v1, but the Goth spam is overpowering the Romans now. There's no food left for Happy the Andy, Everything the Britons make besides scorpions really needs food in pretty high numbers. So the production's going to be rough. But I think this is the headlining portion here, right? Castle does fall for Legion. But to basically full win water, not quite, but almost, with the Berbers is really nice against the Chinese. Still, though, Agent P in the north, losing TCs, is going to lose a castle, I think. There's nothing here, right? There's a couple halbs out on the field. That's it for Agent P. Goths. Hand cannon, bombard cannon is a quite solid composition, actually, against the Romans. Now that we found our way here. It's pretty micro-intensive, but it does work. And Legion's got to be careful. You can't give the Chinese an inch on the water or they will take the entire ocean. Middle control kind of falling. Got Carax coming in from the Goths. Happy the Andy sending in some Roman demos. It's just demo ships. They aren't even heavy demos. Camels also run in. This is a really important hold if Agent P can survive in the north. Because it's a decent push down here for SMR. It's still an okay sort of holding in the middle for Legion. So if Agent P is able to hold in the north, it's a big, big deal. And if he isn't, it's also a big deal. SMR forward castles now. Happy the Andes out of gold now, which is also really bad for the Romans. SMR is slinging Agent P. We need more elephants from Pete, but food, man, food has been an issue for Great Britain Sea again. The Great British famines coming through strong in this set so far. Do they not have any civs that don't need food? Man. It's kind of disrespectful to beat the Romans going infantry scorpions, I think. I think that's very disrespectful of SMR. But he is doing it. He's flexing on them. Castles are falling. There's really nothing here. There's some scorpions in here for Happy the Andy, but I guess it's just one bombard cannon. Could get some good shots with the scorpion still. Agent P back on the back foot. As trebuchets have pushed in further yet again. More TCs are going to go down. Kreposts will go down. And this is actually a really close game. Who's winning? I actually don't know. We have both teams on the middle island, which is very rare. Usually you're either on it or you're off it. Dragon ships against the camels is interesting. Camels are winning with a lot of help from their friends. Dramens also coming in from the Goths. Goths have a sneaky good navy these days. They have good Carax now with the water rework, and they have the Dramens, which can be really situationally good as well. The Malay Elite Cannon Galleon still doing work, though. Elephant numbers have been revamped. We've got some trade from the Great Britain. Guess it's starting to come in from India as well. India pushing back on the water. What's going on with Wildebeest? Out of gold. Is there any gold in the base for Wildebeest? No. So we really need trade or to be on the middle island. This is the entire gold economy for Wildebeest right now. I don't think these villagers are going to be enough to contest water long term. Happy the Andy How is Happy the Andy still alive? Every time I look down here, he's got 0 military, and there's just like all this siege taking out his entire base. But he's... The push has been very slow. He's only gone from here to here in the last couple minutes. I feel like... I keep feeling like I'm going to look back here and Happy the Andy is just not going to exist on the map anymore. But he's actually holding pretty decently. Forward castle for Pete. As Agent Peace just desperately tries to hold on to any positioning he possibly can. Usually this map comes down to who wins the water, but it's been very close. So we actually might... It actually might come down to who can push on the flanks faster. If Agent P gets wiped out before Happy the Andy does, that might just be it. Because as soon as a pocket starts to get pushed on land, they lose water, right? And then the whole game is just lost. Maybe you don't have to push Happy the Andy completely all the way back, though, right? Can SMR start pushing into Wildebeest right now? Might be too risky, I don't know. Continuous fights in the middle. Another castle has gone down for Wildebeest, though. We've got elite cannon galleons from the Berbers out, taking out the castles. Yeah, it's looking better for Team India in the middle again. I think Agent P has held long enough, which is good because he's not going to hold much longer. He's being slung heavily. Forward castle is going to go down for Pete, though he is all up in the base of Agent P. But forward castles again in the middle. Legion is going to take control once more of all of this middle gold, which is really important because trade is really not happening. All right, I guess SMR is trading pretty decently. Agent P has got some trade on the field, but not a ton of trade. This gold is very, very valuable for both teams. And I don't know. There's just nothing on the field for Wildebeest, right? There's no gold to make navy with, which is really all you want the Chinese to be making is navy. Like, Halbs is fine, but we really need Luchuans on the field. And now that the middle's been won, Legion swings back up to the north. Malay really don't have great answers to massed camel archers. I think India's going to claim another victory here. They have the middle. They have the water. Happy the Andy's going to try and push out in the south to prevent these Trebs from SMR to continue to harass the pocket. But I don't think there's enough here. I see a lot more yellow than teal. Legion and Agent are more experienced. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense to me. That does make sense to me. Obviously, like, 1v1 RM elo-wise, Team India is really strong. As GG is called. India does indeed take game 2. But there's definitely some deathmatch experience here. All right, well played. Losing the Chinese really hurts, but well, I guess Goths, I was going to say, like, Romans and Malay, not the highest value civs here for Great Britain, but kind of budget civs on Team India's side as well. Like, Goths are okay, but on the lower end. Berbers are solid, but not amazing on any map here in team games. They are very good, though. Bulgarians are like, okay. Depends. It's a good start for Team India. That's a big win. Welcome in game 3, take 2. India versus Great Britain C. Looks like we have the correct colors this time. We are here on Canyon Lake and let us introduce our players. On the Western Front, we've got Breakfast playing as the Tatars, across from Agent P playing as the Georgians. Pockets are Wildebeest as the Magyars, and Legion with the Malians. Interesting. And then on the right-hand flank, we have SMR playing as the Turks, and it is the Bulgarians now for Great Britain. Okay. Kind of messing with my head again, since we've seen a couple of these civs, but they were the opposite team playing them. Georgians versus Tatars is an interesting matchup, actually. I don't know which I favor over there. But, man, Malian Pocket, I don't think has had a very successful history in this tournament so far. I think that might be tough. Turks versus the Bulgarians is also very interesting. We've got the Turk Rush inside the Bulgarian base, trying to snipe these villagers before the Krepos can come up in defense. That's at least one villager down. I actually want to switch to this screen. Briefly, Agent P has lost 2 villagers to the Tatars, but he has killed one forward. And yeah, Happy the Andy has lost 4 villagers to the Turk Rush so far. A really good start over on this side for SMR. We've got Pocket against Pocket. Full camels from the Malians is okay against the Magyars. It's okay. It's okay. We'll see how it goes. It is a lot of camels. 56 camels on the field. Only 29 Cav Archers so far. Paladin in front will lose to the camels, but as long as they're providing a meat shield for the Cav Archers, because this is what you don't want. But it's fine. Perfectly timed. Big push on the left. Breakfast with the Tatars has his own Cav Archer mass, but Georgians getting castles up. They've got SO at their disposal. They've got Halb, Manaspa. Very strong against most units, really. And we'll see if Agent P can hold against a pretty good push. That's a nice start with that attack. This is what I'm more worried about. Happy the Andy with 10 villagers is all. Still lots of enemy colors just in his base. The base expansion has not gone very well. Only 1 Krepos was able to go up. Thinking about a second castle, but TCs are being denied. There's a third castle placed down. Try to expand around the back. But Cav Archers, probably Bombard Cannons pretty soon will be coming out for the Turks, which is going to be pretty bad news bears, I think, for the Bulgarians. I think. Just like Bombard Cannon, Cav Archer, it feels like a pretty good composition against the Bulgarians for now. On the left, Breakfast trying to go for a forward-ish castle. That's denied. Lots of camels here, and Halb. Gotta get the Cav Archers out of here. A lot of Cav Archers went down there. Wildebeest showing up for some help, though. I think Wildebeest needs to be helping over here mostly, and that is indeed where most of the green is flowing. Take another peek here, I'm curious. It hasn't been too bad. Oh wait, no, here. Yeah, it hasn't progressed too much. Legion has sniped 9. Breakfast has lost a lot. Happy the Andy has obviously still lost a lot. But I mean, Great Britain still has more military. The Magyar Hussar are going to try and dive on the siege. If the siege goes down, the Cav Archers can work, but the siege doesn't go down. The Halbs and the Cavalier, Georgian Cavalier, it's a disaster. Actually, protect the siege nicely. SO diving on the Cav Archers, diving on the Trebs. That's a really strong looking push. Bit of a push back in the east, though. Happy the Andy. Eco might not be there, but we're at least producing military. And the Magyars are very strong. But I don't know, man. 113 to 182 eco count. India has overtaken on military count as well now. Prepos coming up behind will help. More Magyar Hussar diving on the siege. A couple more SO go down, but a lot more Cav Archers go down. Castle goes down behind for Great Britain. Another castle's going to go down before it ever goes up here, I believe. Prepos going down before they go up. SO trying to assert dominance, Ram style. Okay, I guess that's one way to decide a victor. India OP? Maybe. It's looking pretty good again. Yeah, no, this hasn't been, there's not been very much trade in this set at all. Both teams just simply grinding it out against each other. Nice rating here. I don't know if Andy is able to pay attention to this. Bit of a pushback maybe from Breakfast, but it's a 2v1 now, as Wildebeest is having to send almost all of his military to the right-hand side to support this push. But you know what? There's a bit of a pushback happening. A lot of Wildebeest military does show up down here, clears up some siege. Cav Archers working away. They should beat everything here. I think Magyar Cav Archers beat Turk Cav Archers. They certainly beat the Janissaries. Bombard cannons being sniped out. So at least Happy the Andy can breathe a little bit for a little while. Topside trying to gain ground as Agent P with the castle. There's not a ton of military here, though. More Magyar Hussar rush in. They're going to snipe 2 Trebs really nicely there. Really good work from Wildebeest this game, by the way. He's been on both sides. And has had to be on both sides. It feels like whenever he shows up, his team pushes. Whenever he's not there, his team's getting pushed. So really good work. Oh, couldn't quite deny that castle. That's really unfortunate. Just goes up. That means the army's going to have to back up and wait for trebuchets to come out now. Big camel run out for Legion from the pocket. Going to snipe the onagers, the SO. But Bulgarian infantry actually not the worst here against the Turk camels anyway. There's not enough green over here. Wildebeest needs to be everywhere at all times, which might be tough, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta be that guy. Players are trying to establish trade. Not super pretty in some of these. The wood lines are kind of not ideal for it to begin with. But you know what? Great Britain's pushing. Oh, that's not a good shot to take. It's fine, though. There's still a big military advantage here for Great Britain. We're holding in the north. Actually, we're going to bring down a Oh, maybe we're not going to bring down a castle. Great snipes with the Turk bombard cannons. They've massed back up. Snipe down all the Trebs, and they could snipe down all these SO too. SO trying to get through the infantry. It's great attack grounds from SMR. All the siege goes down. More green. Wildebeest arrives yet again to save the day yet again. Snipes a couple bombard cannons. More Janissaries going down. It'd be great if this castle could fall for Great Britain. Castle might fall on the top side, but there's not going to be much push afterward. Last shot. Kobe. Castle goes down, but the push is halted from Great Britain for the time being. How are we looking economically here? Still very little trade for Great Britain. That's probably going to be an issue pretty soon. We do, by the way, have Legion in the middle pond. Wildebeest is going to come out here and try to contest that. Magyar Navy, not the best, but we did just talk about the Malian Navy is really not the best either. Got little fish booms. The trade is running here. Where is this trade going? That's not the place you want to be. At all. Where is it going? It's going here. Yeah, that's not good. That's actually... We need to delete this market. It's a little bit further, so it's going to go here automatically, but we really need the trade to be running down here. Magyar Hussar. Dive the siege yet again. Take out at least one bombard cannon. I didn't see the full engagement. But H&P followed up with another even more forward castle. Lost the castle behind. Says, alright, I'll put it down further ahead this time. This is a dangerous looking push. The Cav Archer mass is simply not there for Wildebeest. Magyar Hussar, one of the better trash units you can make, but it's still a trash unit, right? 11 Cav Archers on the field is not going to cut it. Going both ways. India has a full 3-corner control on the map, which means the trade is going to be real bad for Great Britain if they ever add trade. Which I guess Wildebeest is doing at least now. Trying to roll out here and snipe Trebs just to slow down this push, but every time you run out and try to snipe the siege, you're losing so much military underneath the castle to the opponent's army, right? It's just like you're falling further and further behind every time you try to run out there. And I think India's outlasted Great Britain yet again. Manaspa show up in the middle. Holy, do they show up in the middle. That is quite the raid on Breakfast's Eco. Chilling out in the middle here. You know what? It's actually a better navy for the Magyars somehow. That feels really weird to say, but they actually have full upgrades on their Caracs, right? And the Malians do not. The water isn't that important on this map, though. If you're losing the outside, that's kind of the game. More castles being pushed. Charge out here for Andy. Does snipe a lot of bombard cannons, but the military is still alive, unfortunately. Yeah, Malians might have the worst Imperial Age Navy in the entire game now. It's very weird to say, because they used to be not that bad. Like, they were never great, but it wasn't terrible. They were great early, and then they were playable late. Now they're, like, really bad. Another castle goes down. I'm looking for the way back into things here. If you're Great Britain, I'm not. Well, not really seeing it. Legion is all in that eco with camels. I don't even know where the trade line is running here for Wildebeest. It's going here. 35 gold per trip is not ideal compared to 91 going the other way. Team India, man. They might just slam on through to the grand finals of Silver League at this rate. They are looking pretty unstoppable. Doesn't matter what civ they're up against, what map it is. Man. Yeah, so Malians don't get any of the, like, university fire upgrades anymore. They don't get incendiaries or siphons. They never got shipwright. They don't get elite cannon galleon. They don't get bracer or galleon. And they don't get blast furnace for the Caracs. So it's really bad now. It's going to take a while for me to get used to that, because I always considered they were always like an okay sort of B-tier water civ. Really good early, they were okay late. Oh my god, these bada booms on the Cav Archers. But now they're strictly an early game water civ, and that's it. I don't know. I'm kind of just waiting for the GG here. I don't think there's any way back into things for Great Britain. The eco is still okay, but half the military count, the positioning on the map is just so bleak. Ooh, that's a nice Manaspa raid right there. That's a pretty nice Manaspa raid. It's not great trade, but still don't want to lose it all. And now he runs into the farming eco for Andy. It's going to be a massacre. Oh, where does he go? No, don't pass through. I wanted to see. There we go. Turn around, turn around. Oh, he's looking for the markets. He doesn't even want these bad trade lines to exist. He's going to take that one out. He's going to take this one out. I don't even know if there will be a trade line once this market falls. I guess there's one back here still, but the GG is called. India steamrolling over Great Britain Sea so far in this one. They are up 3-0. One game away, if my basic math skills are available to me, from the grand final. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw an eco round here from India, hoping that Great Britain uses some of their big civs now that their back's up against the wall. But let's see. They have just jumped into the game. And yeah, I think that's a little bit of what we're seeing, but let's see. Welcome in Game 4, potentially decider match, Great Britain C versus India. India's been crushing it so far, but they need to close things off here now. Let's introduce our teams. Wildebeest is on flank this time as the Burmese. He is across from Agent P, who defends nicely there, playing as the Britons. Interesting. Burmese on the flank, okay. Mongols in the pocket for Andy, across from the Khmer for Legion. Ooh, nice snipe there from Andy. And then opposite flanks, SMR playing as the Portuguese, across from the Bohemians of Breakfast. Really interesting civ matchup on the right-hand side. Both those civs kind of do a lot of the same things in practice. But, I mean, it's not bad civs for India. It's definitely worse civs for India. These are really hard-hitting civs for Great Britain, but Khmer are okay. Britons are okay. Portuguese are kind of a lower-end civ in DM. Breakfast. Loses a Vil there on the TC. Nice snipes. Got the elephants massing up here across from the Britons, as Andy is just full sending it into Legion's base. Khmer trying to get their own elephants out. Camels are in here, though, for Andy. He's going to snipe at least one villager down here. Good quick walls, though, from Legion. Really good quick walls. You are allowed to quick wall. You can't full wall, but singular wall pieces are allowed. Another villager goes down to the camels here. Let me switch back over here real fast. Wildebeest has lost 3 villagers. Andy has sniped 5, though. Breakfast and SMR kind of trading Vil kills over on the right-hand side. I like the early aggression from Team Britain. Let's see if they can continue. Another good snipe here from Legion, though. Doing real good work with just that opening scout. Also, Halbs, Portuguese Halbs have wandered underneath the TC. And they're maybe going to kill some Vils here if they can target correctly. That's 1. Okay, I guess it's just going to be 1. Meanwhile, we've got the Britons against the Burmese. Very weird civ. I actually have no idea how this civ matchup plays. The Burmese... I mean, like, it's weird, right? The elephants... There's not a great answer to the elephants for the British, for the Britons. They can go Halb out in front, but Burmese elephants are pretty big chonkers. Scorpions and bombard cannons, though, can be sniped by the British. This might be a very, like, stalemate-y pushover on the right-hand side, to be honest. Checking in on the middle. Legion is pushing back into Andy's base with the elephants. Theoretically, the Ferrari siege onagers from the Mongols can deal with elephants decently. Oh, but the pathing is a disaster. Deletes a production building to try and get the SO out of here, and at least saves 2 of them. Or maybe it's simply a bulldoze by the Burmese. Maybe it's not going to be stalemate at all. Maybe it is simply going to be elephants smashing down the Britons. Got Arbs in here. That really doesn't do it. Britons have Onager. But okay, good shots into the Scorpions. Elephant numbers are waning for Wildebeest. How are we looking elsewhere? Big elephant mass. Holy, the charge of the elephant stampeding in for Legion. But he's stampeding into the Bohemians, right? And like, Briton Halb is one thing against elephants. Bohemian Halb is a totally other, different animal against the elephants. They actually do very well with all of the extra bonus damage they have. So, elephants running straight into the gnashing teeth of the halberdier. Lose a lot of numbers there. Mangadai trying to kite the elephants around. It's very micro-intensive, and they don't do a ton of damage to the elephants. Britons get their feet under them. They've got their ranged units. A few too many arbs, a few not as many longbows for ideal counts. Burmese champion. Getting good hits. Onager is doing well, though. Breakfast is losing to Portuguese skirmishers a little bit here. Elephants are still in the eco. Where are our numbers here? We need so many more halbs. You just constantly need at least like 40 to 50 halbs on the field if you're the Bohemians. If you ever dip below that number, bad things happen. Big gunpowder war between the Portuguese and the Bohemians, but I think the elephants really ripped up Breakfast pretty bad. How's the middle going? Andy isn't really engaging with a lot of his military. He's going home. We need to go forward. Our flanks are dying in the streets. Burmese getting pushed back now. That's a lot of Warwolf Trebs. That is a lot of Warwolf Trebs for Agent P. Don't go for the castle. Go for the Trebs, man. It's probably correct to go for the castle. I don't know. I wanted to see some big bada booms on the army though. Yeah, Breakfast is dead. Breakfast has been slain. He has been consumed by the many elephants and skirmishers in his base. And I think India has just swept their way into the grand finals of the Silver League. Maybe a little bit of a pushback here for Wildebeest, but I don't know if it even matters. The Trebs all get sniped out. Happy the Andy doesn't have the military we need. Has just been kiting around elephants all game. Really good work by Legion here, by the way. It's really tough to play an elephant pocket on maps like this, because usually the pocket has to swing, right? Great shot. Usually the pockets have to swing to both sides a little bit. Can't really do that with elephants, but I guess he hasn't really needed to, right? Agent P was just okay on the other side. GG is called. India. Overpowered, man. 4-0 domination, you're not wrong. Portuguese OP, yeah, maybe. I actually would have been interested to see how this 1v1 went between the Portuguese and the Bohemians, but the elephants tipped the scales a tiny bit. India's giving you hope for a good finals. This looked very clean by Team India. This looked exceedingly clean.